Will real love always pale in comparison to that incredibly intoxicating love bomb trap? That's what we're talking about in this video. Hey, I'm Dr. Melissa. I'm a trauma expert and top doctor. And in this video, we're talking about whether or not real love, healthy love, will always fall short, will always pale in comparison to that intoxicating love bomb trap that you've experienced. And I so get this question. For me, this was a question that smacked me in the forehead like a 2x4. This earth-shattering, eye-opening moment that made me realize that a lifetime of narcissistic abuse had made me addicted to love bombing and intermittent reinforcement. Oh, I'm telling you, it just like hit me where it hurts. It was crazy. So in this video, we're going to talk about 3 specific things. First is why none of your previous relationships were normal or healthy. Second is how to tell if you are addicted to love bombing. And 3 is how to break that addiction. How does that sound? Okay, first, let's talk about the fact that you've never had a normal, healthy relationship. Sure, there were those that seemed healthy on the surface, but they were likely a very balanced relationship of people-pleasing, poor boundary setting, self-blame, and or a need for validation and approval from your partner and vice versa. They soothed your insecurities, you soothed theirs. You validated each other. That to you felt healthy. Why? Because these things seem so common, they seem normal, but they're not. Once you got into the relationship with a narcissist, you noticed the imbalance. You validated them, they devalued you. You accepted blame willingly, they never took responsibility. You avoided setting boundaries, and they just took that as an invitation to walk all over you. You tried to please them, and they made no effort to please you. That relationship you can clearly identify as being unhealthy, as being abnormal, dysfunctional. But the first relationship I described is also unhealthy and dysfunctional. People-pleasing, self-blame, poor boundary setting, the need for validation from others has no place in a healthy relationship. That's basically just 2 unhealthy people who are coexisting, who are working in a partnership. What if you could be 2 healthy people coming together, already whole on your own, coming together because you want to, not because you need someone to validate you, not because you need someone to make sure you're not alone? What happens then? Drop a comment in the chat. Let me know what that would look like to be fully healthy and whole, to have a partner who's fully healthy and whole, to be able to speak your truth, to not have to people please, to not have to walk on eggshells, to not need their validation or approval because you know that you're enough. What would that be like? I will tell you, it is flippin' fantastic. Okay, number 2, how to tell if you are addicted to love bombing. And I'm not kidding when I said this one smacked me upside the head so hard, I was shocked because I thought these things were normal in a healthy relationship. Things like taking care of you when you're sick, texting to see if you got home okay, spending every waking moment together. I thought that meant surely we're in love. Things like waking up to a thinking of you text, or falling asleep together on the phone because you're up talking so long. Maybe even talking on the phone all night long with complete disregard for the fact that you've got an important business meeting or work project in the morning? What about loving it when they hang on every word that you say? When they want to know everything about you? When you love it when they share vulnerable details about themselves? Sure, everyone wants someone to care that they got home safely, or to help them out when they're sick, or to be interested in who they are or what they have to say, right? Those things can be normal. But when you're addicted to love bombing, those things are everything. That spending every waking moment together, that thinking of the future with this person, planning out where you're going to go on vacation next summer when you're on your third date, right? Those are examples, or those are red flags that you are being love bombed. And if you're eating it up, if you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this guy is so awesome and he's already talking about marrying me, I must be the luckiest person in the world, you're being love bombed. The problem is that we've created this Hollywood fantasy version of what falling in love looks like to make it look like love bombing is normal, and it's not. Here's some other ways that you can tell that you are addicted to love bombing. The relationship is hot. The chemistry is so flipping intense, you can't stand it. You're checking your phone like every 10 seconds because you don't want to miss a call from this person, or a text, or an invitation to meet, because you cannot wait until you see them again. The sound of their voice on the phone makes you melt into a puddle. A flirty text makes you moan out loud, even if you're at work. Maybe you're sneaking into the bathroom to have phone sex with this person while you're at work, regardless of the potential implications, because you just cannot get enough of them. That is love bombing. And if that's what you are seeking with a partner, that intensity, that chemistry, that electricity, you are addicted to love bombing. It's not real love. Number 3, let's talk about how you break the addiction. And if you're feeling, hot and bothered, so to speak, by the description of love bombing, you might be thinking, why would I ever want to break this addiction? That sounds amazing. That sounds passionate. That sounds like the way love should be. And the problem is, you're going to miss or pass over all of the potential healthy relationships that you could have in your life. Relationships where you do feel electricity when you touch, or when you kiss, when you melt at their touch. Because what you're going to be looking for is the intensity that makes you play hooky from work, give an almost stranger huge amounts of money, or do things that you wouldn't otherwise do. That's why it needs to be broken. And here's how I did it. First, I completely cut off all contact with anyone who made me feel that way. Anyone who induced that flood of chemicals in my body by text, by phone, even if we'd never met in person, I completely cut off, because I wanted to cut off my pattern of reaction, my chemical addiction to love bombing. Second, I broke my trauma bond. If you've watched my videos, you've heard me talk about that before. This was something that came after I was done with therapy, years after I had left the relationship. It's something no one talks about, and I learned how to do it for myself. It's why I help other people do the same thing. I broke my trauma bond, and that was hugely helpful. And the third thing I did was I committed fully to healing. I created the relationship with myself that I wanted with someone else first. And it made all of the difference in the world in terms of attracting in the new partner. On the healing journey of narcissistic abuse, this is step 4 kind of stuff. This isn't the early stuff when you're in the relationship and you're trying to figure out how to escape or extract yourself. This is the part that comes after therapy, the part that no one talks about, the part that is absolutely paramount to having a happy, healthy future. And I'd love to send you my free guide so you can see where you're at on that process. Just click the link in the description and it'll be in your inbox today. I'm Dr. Melissa, and I will see you in the next video.